So we'll have to wrap up about 7 minutes before the hour. So just keep it tight.
All right, cool. Let me share and show you what I got.
Yeah, allow.
Oh, my share screen is grayed out. Oh, wait, there we go. I'm good. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Start chatting.
So here's the overview, kind of like last time. And then I've still got to remove that. So I'm going to go over fundamental SEO concepts, some example use cases, so keyword research. And I'm going to grab the keyword research assistant that I just built and embed it in Notion.
Cool.
Let's make sure it works. It was giving me some trouble earlier, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, thank God. It stops when you show up, Scott. It's because I'm not on the pro plan that it gates me to an hour. So it cut off our session like 6 minutes too soon last time.
Is this big enough? Oh, it works. This is my new keyword research app. Check it out. You just I put in your URL here and boom, 30 keywords with search volume, difficulty, and competition. And nice. It's actually a table. So if you paste it, I've noticed sometimes the copy button doesn't work, see, when I embed stuff.
Interesting.
So like if I click the copy button here, it's not doing it.
What is the link that it's copying? Just so we know where that's going.
It's just the copy for this.
The iframe.
Yeah, yeah, the embed.
What is it pasting in the? Oh, there you go. That's perfect. Yeah, all good now, Scott.
Yeah, this is what it would be copying, and it actually pastes. It actually copies as a real table. Okay, so we've got keyword research. Good. Next is going to be SEO audits.
I think you can even leave the room, Scott, if you want to, and then I think you just got rid of the timer thing. So up to you if you're muted.
Okay. Now we need SEO audit. Okay, so for this one, so we've got example use cases. So now we can just, we can do content analysis. So I don't know if you guys have tried Gemini recently, but they have this new thing called Gems.
Yep.
and they are really cool. Like you can do stuff like this. Look at this.
Yeah, because it's like linked into the G Suite.
Watch
really
this.
well.
You could do Gmail. Show me my most recent 5 emails.
No way.
And then you can have it reply. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
All right, we're about
to spend Vibe.
And I can do like send a reply to
J bro, what's up?
Whatever. Okay. Anyhow. Okay. Backlinks.
Nice. Got a good crowd forming. How many we got here? Hey guys, welcome to the workshop. Good to see some familiar faces.
I will stop
new
sharing
faces.
for now.
How you doing, Sven?
Hey everyone.
Nice. We got. Well, let's give it a couple more minutes for everyone just to sort of roll in. Chuck's here, Tom. I don't know if you guys want to chat about.
Oh, hey Chuck, are you in?
You're muted, dude. Good to see you.
Yep, I'm in.
Hey, cool. I've been so slammed. I didn't have enough time to get in touch with you ahead of time, but I know you know your stuff. So as I'm kind of going through it, basically I'm good. I might throw to you for some more technical stuff, but
absolutely. But
just a heads up on that. I'm sure you're okay with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Do we want to give it a couple more minutes to see who else we get in here?
Give it 1 or 2, but while everyone's rolling in, we could hear how everyone's building is going. We've got 2 of our SEO experts, so leave any questions in chat for them.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear, has anyone done anything cool with the API? I'm personally struggling with trying to get, so what I want to do, if anyone can come up with a solution, is I have a tool that analyzes any text you submit, and it produces a writing prompt based on the style of that text. What I want to do is then send that output to my prompt optimization assistant to then take that style writing prompt and further improve it, and then send it back to the chat I'm in as a final output. So I tried to do a get and a post on each, but I couldn't figure out how to trigger it.
Yeah.
So
we're going to be treating like Chipp to Chipp as a bit more of a first-class citizen. So that will be building some UI for you guys just to be like connecting the Chipp chat to another Chipp chat. But I'm glad to hear you're trying to hack it, Tom. Yeah.
Wait, is there Jason? You're a sneaker collector? I want to see your collection. You can see my that's my Jordan collection.
Very nice.
Got another sneakerhead in here. That's very exciting.
Yeah,
so I have played.
My wife's not a fan, but.
So what do you collect, Jason?
Mainly, I'm a huge crazy Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So yellow shoes are kind of my thing. I've got probably 20 some pairs of yellow shoes, but in all probably over 60 pairs of shoes total. I definitely have a problem. I'm aware of it.
You might like these.
Oh, that is very cool.
These are fairly rare AJKOs.
Oh yeah,
I live in
those are very cool.
Milwaukee Brewers colors, baby.
Yeah, if you want to send those to me, I'll take them.
I'm a size 8.5, 9, so I don't know if it would fit.
Oh no, I'm 12, 13. So
okay, so we got everyone in here.
We're loaded. Let's get set up then. I'll turn the music down and do a quick little intro, and then we'll pass over to you.
Do you want to kick it off, Serge, or do you want me to?
Absolutely. Yeah, let me set everyone up and make sure everyone who's new in the room. We've got Vicky, Webhav, We've got some new faces. It's so good to see. Awesome. Welcome, guys. We're here for our Building SEO Apps with Chipp workshop. This is part of a series of workshops that's been happening with our hackathon, and these workshops are led by some of our community members who are experts in their niche, so that you guys can get some creative ideas for what you would like to submit to the hackathon. So a lot of you have found us through the hackathon, and I'm just going to share the link to that hackathon submission page in case you haven't seen it. There's a $1,000 prize pool, and you're all welcome to submit a cool use case, and it could be an SEO use case that you learn how to build on this workshop or something else. We're joined by two of our awesome SEO experts in the community. We've got Tom and Chuck, if you guys want to give a little wave. Cool.
Hello.
Hey, there they are. Awesome. And they're going to be walking you through the workshop today. We like to keep this interactive, and I just want to show you guys where the chat is. So if you look on the left sidebar of Butter, which is this awesome environment that we're in that's not Zoom. So if you click chat on the left or press C, you'll open up the chat window, and just type in there your name and where you're tuning in from, and also any questions that you have about SEO in the left sidebar there. So go ahead, send us where you're tuning in from and any questions for our SEO AI experts. Awesome. We normally have this awesome global community of builders, so maybe you'll find someone who's living near you. We found some folks who live in the same part of town in Cape Town once, and we're neighbors. It's always good fun to see where everyone's at.
Yeah, there's someone in Wisconsin I saw recently in Madison, I believe.
Nice.
Which is close to me.
And then our last favorite feature in the chat is also GIFs. You can use these to share a little bit of love while the builders are sharing their wisdom with you. So go ahead and click the GIF button, which is next to the green send icon, and send us a GIF of how you're feeling today. Here is my bouncing dinosaur Godzilla vibe right now. Perfect. Hey, Bruna, Brazilian in London. Awesome. I'm also in London. Cool. Awesome. So now we've got everything going there. We also have one last other feature I'd like to just share with you guys. We like to keep it interactive. So there's a queue as well, which is just above chat. You can also use that to say, like, I have a question, I have a comment, or I have an idea. And this just helps the facilitators, pause and then come and attend to your questions or ideas. So feel free to use that as we go into the workshop. That's it from me. I'm going to be handing over to our awesome facilitators, Tom and Chuck. Leave it with you guys.
All right. So thanks for joining, everyone. So I'm going to share in the chat in about a minute here a link to a Notion page, just like the previous time that we did this, and in there there'll be resources and a bunch of resources, just like last time. So I guess just to get started, to get a sense, is there any way we could do a poll or get a sense of how many people have built an SEO app or tool, or number two, have used an AI-driven SEO tool or app? Maybe we could do number one for you've built one in the chat, and number two if you've used one but not built one, or one and two if you've done both. Okay, so we got a lot of people who haven't used any. Okay, so the main thing, and I've built a number of SEO apps, and really the core value that you're going to be looking to get from this is time savings, in my opinion. So SEO, keyword research, these things without any sort of software or any sort of AI can be extremely time consuming. There are entire jobs that do this. Conducting a full SEO audit of a website, if to do it right, can take a decently long amount of time. With an AI Chipp app, I can do it in 45 seconds. So that's really the big value. So the core areas we're going to discuss are going to be keyword research, are going to be, let me get to my thing here. So fundamental SEO concepts, and then we'll go over 3 use cases that are keyword research, SEO auditing, and backlink analysis. And I'm about done creating the backlink analysis app, so we can actually work on that together and finish it off. So I guess to get started, let me share the Notion link with everyone. 1 second here, so you guys can all get onto this. Okay. And I'll make it so you can duplicate it in your own Notion if you have one. So check the chat. Oops, sorry. Here we go. Okay, so that link that I just posted in the chat will take you to the Notion page. And to get started, why don't we start off on the core or the primary concepts within SEO that we can use AI with. So the first is keyword research, and this is really the most applicable. For keyword research, oops, and I got to update that. Got to update a couple of these. But basically for keyword research, you can analyze entire websites and the content within them and get an output of recommended keywords along with, oh yeah, and I'll share my screen. Sorry about that. And you can get, 1 second here. Let me share here. Okay. So should I zoom in here? Can you guys see it?
Zoom in a little bit. It's a bit small for
Zoom in a little
smaller
bit.
screens.
Move this down here. Better?
Cool. Is that good for everyone? Yeah. Maybe one more.
One more. Good.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So so keyword research, basically that just involves, you probably all know what it is, but it's identifying and analyzing words and phrases. There's traditional keywords and then long tail keywords. Long tail keywords being phrases. And basically this is the elements that are really important in this is identifying trending search terms, looking at search volume. And when you look at that table that outputs search volume, difficulty, and competition, if you're not familiar, competition is a score that's telling you essentially how competitive it is to rank for that keyword. And then when you're looking at difficulty, it's more so not necessarily just against your competition, but overall, how difficult is it to rank for that keyword? And then search volume is how many searches use that keyword. So what you really want to look for as say you're a young company trying to grow your traffic to your website, you want to look for keywords that have decent volume and as low difficulty and as low competition as you can find. So for example, I usually do anything like if it's got 500 or plus for search volume, I'll take it and I'll go as low as I can for search or for difficulty and for competition. Chuck, do you have anything to add on this or anything from your perspective that I maybe didn't touch on?
Yeah, the only thing that you want to make sure you do is you also got to, it's got to really align with content and what you write
for sure.
later. So, but yeah, so always when you're looking at the keyword, think about, hey, what is the intent behind the search, and what kind of content? Like, can I actually fulfill this search query?
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of got to think through that, when you're looking at it as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So can you elaborate a bit, like when you're looking at getting into the intent of the keyword? Intent data is something that's really relevant, I would say, right now. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So the non-AI way to do this is take the keyword and just put it into Google and see what comes up, because Google's already interpreted the search intent. So like if, for example, like I've got a client that sells herbs. So the herb benefits of cherry bark, like if I just type cherry bark, like herb, I'm going to get a bunch of informational content. But if I put like find, buy, things like that, it's a buying search intent. And so you get a bunch of product.
Right.
So that's an extreme example, but by just typing the search word into Google and looking at the results, you can see what type of content Google thinks should be showing up. Is it informational, or is it, is it a product or service? Sure. You kind of have to figure out how you're going to fulfill the word.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that leads perfectly into content SEO. So what I generally use in my apps, and I'll show you this, is the EEAT method. And this is how Google analyzes content for SEO. So it basically means expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. How much expertise do you have on a given subject? Authority is kind of, Chuck, do you have any a better sense of how they get a number for authority? Like, what's the difference between authority and expertise, as an example?
That's a good question. I'll answer it generically, because Google uses authority for a lot of different things.
Yeah,
like
true.
Domain authority, page authority. But you have to think about that like as an entity in their knowledge base. You have authority as a person, just like a domain does, or a page does. So now I could be an authority and go speak everywhere, and everyone could link to me, but I could be an idiot. Right. So the expertise is actually, do you have unique knowledge in what they call information gain that is valuable?
Makes sense.
So expertise, you could be the smartest person in the world, but you don't have any authority in your space. You could be a huge authority, and we all know them. They're, they're not real smart. But everyone
makes sense. So moving on to user experience. This is one where I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I haven't come up with a good use case for an AI app that could test user experience, because it's so much of you actually experiencing the website. Now, one idea I did have was using an automation app like Bardeen, for example, that can automate web actions. So I can automate a click, I can automate, scrolling up and down a page, and basically automating moving through a website, through the pages, and capturing screenshots of those and of that process, and then having AI kind of, I guess, follow along and then provide an analysis. I don't know if anyone has a cool idea for how to look at how to leverage user experience with AI. I would love to hear any ideas there. Meta titles and descriptions. This is one of the most overlooked things, in my opinion, when it comes to SEO on your website, and it's one of the easiest. All your images, every page needs to have a meta title and a meta description. The easiest way to do that for real is just copy the link to your website, go into ChatGPT, and just say, create me a meta title and a meta description for this web page. And it'll give you something that you can finesse and be done within a few minutes. So that's one that's really easy. And the last one I want to touch on is link building. So this is a bit more of an advanced strategy to my understanding, but basically it just means how many links from other reputable websites are linking back to your website. And that's going to, and the more reputable sites that link to your site, the more your authority is going to go up, for example. So any questions on any of this? Anything that people want more clarity on or want to discuss a little bit more? So I've got a question here. What if you give it a goal and let the AI give you the steps? This is Kate asking. It would take and evaluate the efficiency. What do you mean? Which goal are you referring to, I guess?
Probably a UX goal, I think.
Oh, for the UX, yeah. So I think the challenge is how do you transport the experience a user would have into an LLM? That's what I'm stuck on. So Chuck's Google looks for UX. Yeah. So a couple quick tips for people. Page speed developers. If you ever want to test your site, go to this webpage. Free by Google. It runs an analysis, and you definitely want to look at the advice and the different suggestions that it provides. So my mobile, I'm 100 on best practices. My performance could use some work. But if we go over to desktop,
I can't see your
screen. Oh, you can't see it. Thank you for letting me know there. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Just loading. Yeah,
so this is PageSpeed Developers. It's just pagespeed.web.dev, and it's a Google site. You put in your website, and it's going to audit it, relying heavily on performance. Another way you can do an audit of a site is if you right-click, go to Inspect, and slide over here, and go to Lighthouse. You can analyze you can conduct an analysis on the page load on the actual website. So that's another tip for folks. So another good one that I didn't mention here, but I should have, is accessibility. Accessibility really factors into SEO now more than it ever used to. And that's just ensuring that, for example, the colors on your site are appropriate for people who have seeing disabilities and may not be able to see, for example, if you have a light color on a light background. Also providing meta descriptions and alternate text for images for people that can't see images. So accessibility is something that's very, very important to look at. So, okay. Any questions, anything else on here before we, oh, quick question, Chuck. I noticed that you said something. So when you say Google crawls your mobile site, not your desktop, do they 100% not touch the desktop anymore? Because I know they're mobile first, but are they taking zero data from the desktop and your score is 100% your mobile?
I don't think it's 100% mobile. No.
I know it's weighted towards mobile.
Yeah, it's just it's mobile first. So when you're thinking about, that's why I mentioned that when you bring up accessibility, like you're 100% on the right path. The other thing I'll say real quick, and I do have an app for this, is the Google algorithm. The first guideline they put out there, it's called helpful content. That somebody like, that's a direction to go down, even more so than some of these other ones. Like, how do you make helpful content? And the knowledge base inside of the Chipp app that I built are just the guidelines, because helpful content sits above EEAT is inside of helpful content. So the Uber analysis is actually at the helpful content level, and those guidelines are public. So the app, I haven't developed it very much, but I can throw the app in chat.
Yeah. Do you want to show it?
Yeah, it's right. It just like you could put
What do we
growth
do?
science. You could put growth science in there, Tom, and
Okay.
it'll
give it a
it'll
try.
compare it against guidelines and give you ideas as to how you can improve your helpful content in your EAT.
Let's give it a try here. If anyone else has any good SEO apps they built, definitely please do let me know. I want to demo some of them. So okay, let's do. How about
Start with analyze helpful. Yeah, you can go there. Yep.
I'm curious about
And
that.
just throw growth science in there.
Are you using any APIs in this app?
Not on this one, and I can talk about the API that I set up to SEMrush and the challenge.
Yeah, I want to talk about that when we go over my auditor. I want to potentially you to show the differences and what it can add. Okay, so strengths, ease of use and navigation, mobile site is responsive and functions well. Technical performance. Yeah, speed, I do need to improve on that. More interactive visual content, ensure that any ads or pop-ups. Yes, which one do you recommend I go for? Let's do summary of all. And then while
you have to run that, what it does is if you do the individual items, the helpful content to eat, at the end, it does a summary of all three.
Okay.
But yeah, not real clear. But it can look at your EAT signals that you're giving.
Gotcha.
And again,
So
it's just bouncing against the Google guidelines. So
Gotcha.
I probably put in 20 pages of PDF total.
On that note, let's take a look at my SEO auditor one, and then I will walk you through how it works. So you guys all have access to this in the Notion. So for an SEO audit, basically, first, now that we have the API with Chipp, I think the first thing you want to do is look at things like Ahrefs, SEMrush. What can you integrate that's going to give you more accurate data? When it comes to technical SEO audits, you're looking for things like broken links, slow page speeds, site security. For on-page SEO, that's where you're dealing with meta titles, descriptions, tags, content quality, keyword usage, linking, and then backlinking is where we get into off-page SEO. We talked about user experience. So does anyone have a site that they want to audit? And by the way, this is a Chipp app, and it's embedded in Notion. So you can embed Chipp apps directly in Notion. Anyone got a website? You can always do Chipp, but
we've had enough free SEO support from being in these.
Yeah, does anyone else have one?
There's a site here. I've got one. It's actually.
Oh, here, someone sent one. Here we go.
Yeah.
The Virtual Gurus.
Virtual Gurus, awesome.
Why did that open like that? Let's do copy link. Okay. So I'm just going to put the link in, and then I'll actually walk you guys through the instructional prompt that runs this as well. Because, the biggest challenge was when you see what it outputs, getting all of that data without any APIs was the biggest challenge for me. One question I have, Serge, when you embed an app like this using the iframe, does it take any hit on speed?
No.
Like in terms, it should be the same.
No, it's still the same way of deploying it. There's no difference between them. Yeah, sharing it like that.
Okay, so here's our full audit. So we'll start at the top. So mentioned earlier is EEAT content analysis. So first of all, let's look at this site.
Really awesome site, Vicky. Good job with the design.
It's a great site. I love the interactive. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, this is fantastic.
It's a work in progress. So I'm trying to get it.
You've got me blown out of the water. That's for sure. This is great.
Wow.
No, really good job. What'd you build it on?
What's the site built on? Or
yeah,
it's just a WordPress site.
It's a WordPress.
Yeah, it's a WordPress.
So with these assistants, is the next step book a consult?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Have you tried embedding any on the site to test? Like, for example, on mine, I've been playing around with embedding them so people can try them, like my property description writer, for example.
These guys are like, these virtual assistants are people. So,
oh, those are people.
These are people, but we are in the process of launching, like, so it's kind of like there's going to be two sides to the business, but we're in the process of launching like an AI voice, like virtual AI virtual receptionist. That's actually really, really cool. And, but with the space has become like so much more competitive. The website's quite clunky. So
well, I think it's really kind of well designed. Let's see what it says about your content. Really good expertise. Content is well organized. I would agree. You could include more in-depth case studies is what it says as a recommendation. So for authoritativeness, lots of testimonials from well-known clients, which is good. Consider adding more authoritative content from industry experts. Trustworthiness, site includes a privacy policy, which is good. Also an about us with values. Incorporate more trust signals like security badges, certifications, or a dedicated page with member bios. So now we're on to SEO and keywords. So looking at high performing keywords on your site, the top performing ones are virtual assistant services, remote administrative support, virtual bookkeeping. It's recommending a keyword gap analysis to identify further opportunities. Let's see here. SEO deficiencies. So you're missing some alt text. That's what I mentioned for images, for accessibility. You want alt text on all of those. Page speed. So this is one thing that I need to do on my side as well. Optimize image size will really improve your speed. And then also leveraging browser caching. You could do some more internal linking. And then finally, we got the keywords table. So what this is a table. And actually what I should have done is this. We can read it down here. So let's see here. So one thing I really like about how this outputs is it actually outputs a real table. This is a real table here. So if we look at kind of what I was mentioning earlier, where you want to find, like, I would take anything over 500. So for example, I would be going after these keywords right here. Like these would be the keywords, if I were you, that I would be going after right here. I'm curious, Chuck, do you have any thoughts or any, based on what we're seeing here?
Or your strategy is solid, particularly as a younger website or brand, or those longer tail keywords are things that you have a better chance of getting on page one for.
Yeah. So
what I wanted to check real quick, Tom, and I'll circle back in about 30 seconds. I'm going to take Virtual Project Manager and see what data comes from a real tool to see how close AI got.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how close the search volume is. I've done a few tests on it, and I've seen it be extremely accurate, and I've also seen it be pretty off. And I think it has to do with the site's traffic. Bigger sites are going to just have more data in general. And then finally, it's a conclusion. So this is a what I would consider, a high level SEO audit.
There's
and if you're
chat, Tom, for like why you chose those keywords. You kind of touched on it.
Let me see here. Where's the question? Why do you choose those keywords? So the beautiful thing about this is I didn't choose these. What AI did an analysis of the entire.
Those ones specifically.
Why did I pick these specifically? So I mentioned this earlier. So what you want to do is identify the keywords you have the best opportunity to gain ground on. So for example, virtual assistant services, yeah, it's great. It's got a ton of search volume. However, the competition is very high and the difficulty is very high. So the chances as a young company or a young website that you're going to displace the folks who are ranking the highest for this it's not very likely. So, at least for my website, if I was getting 1,200 visitors on a, I don't know, weekly basis, that would be unreal. That'd be fantastic. So that's a good search volume for me. And then when I look at difficulty, I'm targeting, the goal is to find the highest search volume you can at the lowest competition and lowest difficulty scores, because that's going to give you the most bang for your buck, meaning you're going to get the most out of it via search volume, and you're going to have the least competition and difficulty. So that's generally the kind of the method for when you run an audit like this, identifying which keywords that you want to focus on. And then to take it a step further, let's grab one of these keywords and go to our keyword research tool. So basically, AI for keyword research, I think, is the best use case across SEO, because keyword research can be incredibly time consuming. So and I did notice, Vinay, that you said you mentioned you wanted to see how to use a Chipp app to maintain and drive SEO. We're going to do that. So that's going to be kind of the last third of this, is we're actually going to finish building an SEO app, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of others. But to answer your question, how to improve the SEO for a site, the audit we just went over is a perfect place to start. If you're like, where do I start on improving my SEO and can I use AI? Run an audit. It's the most perfect place to start. It gives you and now that we ran that audit, we've saved a keyword here, virtual medical assistant. So now I can go to my keyword research assistant, and it's going to ask me, can you please provide me either a keyword or a website? So I'm going to provide a keyword. So now I'm taking it a step further, right? I've identified it through my audit, and now I'm going to my other app to take that keyword, which is a good target for me, and extrapolate out and get, hopefully, if it performs, no. See, now this is incorrect. I don't know why it does that. So,
hey guys, while Tom's working on that, just to validate his tool, I have a paid subscription with SEMrush. I looked at Virtual Project Manager. Globally, it has 2,300 in global volume, only 400 in US, but that you don't have that regionalization on. And the keyword difficulty is 26. So the numbers are close enough for SEO purposes without having to access on this particular keyword. Like, AI did a pretty darn good job with the volumes. And like Tom said, he's checked them as well. So, I'm not saying I'm going to stop paying for the tool, because I use it for a lot of other things, but it's doing a pretty good job of, because all you're trying to do, even if the numbers are a little off, you're just looking for the variations. Like, you're not trying to calculate your volume you're going to get. You're just trying to pick the right keywords.
Yep. That's exactly right. Yeah. So overall, you would say it's fairly accurate, and accurate enough for someone to use it to make business decisions and SEO decisions. It's accurate enough.
Oh, you're muted, Chuck.
You're muted.
For this group, yes. And for most brands, yes. If a bigger brand would want to be much more, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're trying to help just general people do a good job. We're not trying to be perfect here. So it is good enough for that. I would use it for a quick look. And if I wanted to do more analysis, I could, but no, I would say, you guys can use it. And Tom, can you make a longer list? Can you ask it for more keywords?
So, yeah, I've been playing with that. So 30 is the largest table I've gotten yet, but I don't see why I couldn't go up to 100, 200,
Yeah.
There's no reason I couldn't. Right now, what I'm struggling with, and Serge, I don't know, I'll kind of show you, but so I've got this tool running in a GPT, and it works pretty well, or it was working pretty well. And then when I use the same exact instruction set here, I didn't get the list of keywords, as you can see. So it should, if we go to, this is what it should be outputting right here.
You did that just a second ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it always does it with a URL. Okay, so here's one where it did it from Strategic IT Consulting.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of hit or miss, I've noticed. And I just can't figure out why. Do you have any ideas?
Probably on our side with the way that we're calling different tools. So like the URL lookup is being triggered or not, but yeah, not sure why that's being inconsistent. So we can look into it, make sure it's more consistent there.
Okay, so we'll do one more try here for virtual medical assistant. And then where was my chat? Yep, still, let me try. So if we want to take a look quick, these are the prompts I'm using. So these are 3 different kind of styles of prompts. The first one is very short and concise. And the idea with this approach is sometimes simplicity can get you a better result than being crazy detailed. Now this one is much longer and very detailed. So I'm going to swap them out and see if it gives us a different result really quickly. Oops, over here.
Do you think you'll walk us through as well your how you set up your connection to SEMrush?
Yeah, that would actually be great if you could do that.
Yeah. So the way that the actions work.
Do you want to share? Could you share your screen?
Oh, yeah. I could show you guys what
awesome.
I did.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Let me get it pulled up. 1 second.
Oh, yeah. So yeah,
I'll show you guys.
Don't know what SEMrush is or SEMrush is. Has everyone heard of what that is and what that tool does? Yeah, some nods.
We haven't. It's an SEO platform that lets you monitor websites, monitor keyword trends over time, pretty much anything and everything SEO.
Okay, I'll go ahead and let's see. How do you share? Share. Okay. Oh, I got to bring it into this browser. Gosh darn it.
The new.
It's not like Zoom where I can use other browsers.
And this was using the new custom capabilities feature or the API keys?
It's the custom capabilities.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I just I have it up and now I got to go to a different spot.
No worries.
So it'll be a second. I'll get it ready.
Let's clarify the difference from just using the API key to using the actual custom capability. Is there a kind of a difference there?
Yeah, so this new feature that we've just launched is available on the Pro plan now. It's the ability to send a natural language message in the chat interface and then trigger a API from the chat. So this is different to using an API key, which is kind of just, you might use that in Zapier or Make to create a connection to Chipp.
I gotcha.
But from a custom capability, you can say, hey, go and do XYZ on Airtable or Notion or whatever you want to connect it to, and then it will run that action and return the response in the chat interface.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
okay.
All
right. So first off, Tom, using your new what you taught in the previous workshop,
Awesome.
really developed role, objective, instructions.
It looks good.
Output. So yeah, know that we got that. And then down here in custom capabilities, I called it keyword data because, and then what happens in the instructions is that I trigger it. I got it. I tell it. I'm trying to figure out where I do it. Oh, here it is. Called like use the custom capability called keyword data to obtain information about the first keyword. Like I got it to call one keyword, but I couldn't get it to call multiple keywords. And I tried a bunch of different ways, but I'll get into that in a second because let's just go with what, how this works is that this API call, this webhook or endpoint is given to me by SEMrush. They have documentation. And then in the query string are all the parameters, including the API key that allow me to bring back the same thing that AI is doing for Tom, which is keyword difficulty, volume, and different items. But I'm trying to play with how to get it from a data warehouse, because if I can use APIs to get at all kinds of data sets across the internet, I'm going to have a heck of a knowledge base. But the way that the tool works, you can see that all the parameters, including the type of call I'm making, the API key, the output, the database I want, is static. Only this one string, which is the keyword phrase, is being generated or is coming from the AI conversation. And just like, and to test it, I have the word SEO. So I get a successful return. Here is the actual data from the database to the API for the keyword SEO. So it has 165,000 in volume and has a difficult, the competition and the different values are there. I know what they mean and how to return it back. But now this allows me to go at, if I go at the API for SEMrush, and most large tools have, like there is extensive amount of data, like all of these API calls that I can make, and they provide the examples. So if someone has a documented API, all I have to do is kind of take this example and actually, so you guys can see it when and I'll somewhat mess this up so it won't work for a little bit, but or let me do another one. I wonder if that's fixed. Let me add a new custom capability. When I just paste the URL in here, it preloads everything for me. I just had to change this to AI generated and then talk about, hey, this is keyword data, and it's ready to go. So if you can just find your webhook or endpoint, paste it in. And I never knew, like I had to test the get and the post like that, to see which one worked. But if I put the API key in, I can hit test capability and I got a connection. Then if I can get Chipp to execute this, we're good. The only thing I'm having trouble with, and I said this, Serge, is that Chipp sometimes doesn't want to wait for the response, because if this takes 1 second even, Chipp will just say, I don't know. Or ChatGPT or OpenAI or Claude will. I need it to wait a second, and I tell Chipp to wait, but it says sure, I'll wait, but then it doesn't come back. So and then if I say Chipp, did you get the data? Or and then it says yes, but there's not it doesn't know to wait 1 second and then give the data.
And can you go back to that custom capability? Because I think one area we see people slip up on this is often in the description. So go back to that last type of capability you set up.
Yeah. Okay.
Return keyword data for one specific keyword phrase. Just want to make a point of this for everyone, is like, this description is not just a fancy text for reminding you what it is. This is actually telling the LLM when it should do this and call this, and how much to do it, and what keywords should trigger this action. So you need to be very specific and give it enough context here, so that it knows when to do that. But it looks, that should be sufficient for now. But just want to make that clear for people as they build their connections. So yeah, Chuck, maybe we can jump on a call and fix that.
Yeah. No, and I understand why. What I do in Zapier or Make is I call the first prompt and then I put in 3-second delay and then I reprompt it and say, do you have the data? And it works. So there's just right. Like one thing, I mean, LLMs, they only respond to you. I mean, they never initiate that. That's the problem here is that I need a second initiation step. If I say, like, if I go ahead and prompt it again and say, give me the data, it goes, oh, sure. Sorry. And then it gives me the data. So it's just, it's not in Chipp. This is fundamentally like a LLM problem that it doesn't know how to, it knows how to wait, but it doesn't know how to, like, it doesn't listen to the instruction the way I'm looking for as it relates to an API call.
Maybe in the description, you could try saying like, actually give me the response back in the chat.
Yeah. I'm going to play around with it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have any ideas, great. But I think this is going to be not a common problem, but when you go to another agent, you got to be ready to receive the information back.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I'd suggest playing around with the description, and then we'll see if it's still not working. And yeah, just giving it really, it's like another instruction, basically, that description box. So.
And guys, just so that you know, there are comparable tools. I have SEMrush. I track over 10,000 keywords for clients. That's why I pay for it. The API, so I get value out of it that way. There's even if you search keyword data API, you can even buy it pay as you go if you wanted actual data. And then to the point, just so you hear, it's like what Tom built or the way that he went at it is zero. But if you did want a tool, you can buy true keyword data. You can also hook up to Google Search Planner, but that data is not always right. But it would give you a free. It's part of the Google Ads system. It would give you free data if you can get access to the API as a developer, or you can go buy keyword data, just pay as you go for much less than a large retainer.
Cool.
Nice.
And please watch terms of service. I had to read SEMrush's terms of service as to what I could do with the API to figure out how I can not get in trouble. So if you start hooking up APIs, paid or free, you got to be careful what you do with them. Just read. I'm not a lawyer, but read what you're allowed to do with it.
Nice. Cool. Tom, do you have is there something else you want to share with the group?
Yeah, so
use case? I know that there was.
Yeah, so backlink analysis was one that I hadn't finished yet, and I just got it ready, so I can walk you guys through kind of how I built it. So if you
while you're loading it up, Chuck, what was the non-AI way of doing backlink analysis? Oh, you're muted.
The non-AI way of doing backlink analysis, man, it usually takes a tool because I mean, these data sets. Oh man, it's hard. So I'm curious to see what Tom has built, but like backlink analysis and the data that's involved is it's a lot. So you usually have to buy access to a tool that has compiled the data, and it's not cheap.
Yep. So this is a starting point. So Chuck, I'd love to get your insights on this and how we could improve it. So basically how I built this, I was not an expert in backlinks by any means. So what I did was I went into my Gemini and I asked it to provide me so first of all, I uploaded about, I don't know, however many of these there are of just tons and tons of best practices and best strategies for all types of SEO. And then essentially I asked it, hey, can you give me an overview on conducting backlink analysis of a website? So then I took this overview of backlink analysis, and this is a trick you guys can use. So the new Gemini has this thing called Gem Manager. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I simply took this overview, I grabbed this, and you know what? You could actually do the same thing. Actually, I'll do it this way because this is a free way. So anyone you can sign up for Claude for free, and then go to the API console. And once you're in there, you'll see this button, generate a prompt.
We can't see your screen.
1 second here. Entire screen. Okay. So this is one of the best prompt generators that in existence. So basically you can just, I'm just going to say, analyze a website for SEO backlinks using the following information. I'm just going to paste that and I'm going to see if it'll give me a prompt.
We're going to be a bit tight on time, Tom, but what I really want to see this use case.
Yeah, we've got about 6 minutes. Should be able to cover
Cool.
it there. So so any of you guys can use this for free. Sign up for Claude for free, and these prompts are fantastic. They are really well done. So generally, what I'll do is I'll then take this. I'll throw it in my Notion. I'll take a look at it. So one thing I'll let you know about is Claude uses these for variables. I always remove those because Chipp doesn't, if you're using OpenAI, it doesn't really know what to do with those. So essentially what I've done here is I've got a prompt now. So the next step is I'm going to go to my prompt optimizer. And I'm going to say improve a prompt for me. I'm going to paste the prompt. So for the way that this works is first it's going to identify any of the issues in the prompt. Then it's going to provide an optimized version. So while it's doing this, I've already done this ahead of time. So here we've got the keyword or the this is the backlink. So can you analyze my website for backlinks? Anyone have a website we want to do? Who's got a website for me? Anybody? I think there's
run Chipp again if you want, or there's another.
There's another one someone posted earlier. I got it. Buying privately. Let me make sure this works. Good. Okay, so we'll just put this in here. While it's running that, let me see if I can show you the actual prompt. So here would be the optimized prompt I would probably take and actually use. So that's the exact process I went through to create this one. So you can see what it looks like. So what this prompt is doing is it's saying, conduct an SEO backlink analysis of the user's website, focus on identifying reputable backlinks and providing actionable recommendations. So whenever, like most of my apps are based off of a user providing a URL, or a lot of them are. One thing that's important when you're doing that is you have to tell the AI, prompt the user to provide whatever information, and you have to make sure that's the first step. If the URL is not provided, remind them it's necessary. And then basically, so if I'm looking at this prompt right now, something like this, upon receiving the URLs, simulate backlink analysis using SEO tools and techniques, I would definitely add more detail to this. If I were to improve on this prompt. But for now, we can see what we've got as a result. Let's remove this. Okay, so we've got the website has a moderate number of backlinks, reputable backlinks. The site has backlinks from several reputable sources like real estate blogs, industry news sites, and business directories. Anchor text distribution. The anchor text used in backlinks is varied, which is good for natural backlink profile. However, ensure your anchor text is relevant and not overly optimized. A few backlinks come from low quality or spammy websites, so that can hurt your SEO. So actionable recommendations, content partnerships, collaborate with reputable real estate blogs and sites, industry directories, outreach, connect with influencers in real estate, remove harmful backlinks. So Chuck, before we run here, how accurate is this in terms of like, there's a lot of other tools out there, but for something that you can get in 10 to 30 seconds, is this valuable starting point for your backlink strategy?
Does it give me the actual targets of who I should reach out to?
Interesting. So let's try and ask it.
Yeah, give me 5 websites that I should reach out to.
Recommend 5
I would
websites.
love to see that, Podge, but we are coming to the end of our time together, guys.
As
Squeeze it in, guys.
Let's see if it does a 5, and then we'll jump off Surge.
Yeah, let's do it.
So it's giving us types. Okay.
Boom. No, it gave us actual ones.
Oh, gave us actual ones. Oh, Inman, Bigger Pockets,
Bigger Pockets, Realtor.com, and I bet I can say.
Then it works because that you want actionable. You want to be able to say, okay, where do I start, and that would tell you. So. And
then there's the links.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. Awesome.
Just add that to the prompt, and then that's fleshed out that.
Absolutely, I'm going to do that. Yep. So I hope that was helpful, guys. The other one was more my core area of expertise, but I really do hope that was helpful for you. And as always, message me. I'm always in Discord. I love helping people out with stuff AI related. So please reach out and market the hackathon. And if anyone knows companies that want to sponsor, they still can.
Awesome. Nice one. Thank you, Tom. Thanks, Chuck, for sharing that. I've got 2 links in the chat, guys. One's for the hackathon submission. The other is for our Discord, where all of these awesome humans are hanging out, so you can get some more support. And if you're new to the Chipp community, this is just a quick flavor of all the wisdom we have here on AI. And we'd love to see you in there. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Cool. Take it easy.